Hey, Virgo, intuitive soul coach here. Excited to bring to you today's reading where we dive into the energy of the next 3 months. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are interested in a personal reading or entering into the free monthly reading giveaway, you can find both of those links in the description box below. All right, so Virgo, we'll take a look into September, October, and November of 2023. This is a continuum of the reading posted a few months back for June, July, and August. If you missed that reading or you want to check up and see how it's played out in your world, I will link that in the description box below for your convenience. All right, so wow, do we have a lot going on here for you. Now, Virgo, in the month of September, you have the Moose card. This is about you being in a position of power. It reminds me of the Emperor energy here. So I feel like you're taking action, you're taking the lead, you're stepping up. This is about you being put in a spot of authority. Some of you may even be taking on more responsibility. This could lead to a raise, an increase in wealth. For some of you, you're taking the steps towards a new beginning, but a new beginning not from scratch, not from the ground up, but I do feel like you've already started something quite stable for yourself. And I feel like what you're doing now is you're increasing that stability some way, shape, or form. This may play out in your wealth, in your relationship. You could be taking the next step, possibly going from dating to engagement or engaged to married in the month of September. For others of you, you could be expanding on a business, or you could be gaining a certification that will help you grow and advance. So again, I don't feel a scratch, start from the bottom energy. I feel like you are in a very good position to be recognized, to be seen, to be noticed. So this is really great showing up here. I feel like you deserve this spot. At the table, the seat at the table is kind of how I feel here. So whatever is showing up for you, you've earned it. You have the earning power, you have the wisdom, you have the experience, you have the skills, and I feel like you can go all the way, whatever this is for you. I also sense that you're in charge of your health here. So for those of you Virgos that may have suffered from a health condition, whether mentally, physically, emotionally, I feel like you're taking it into your own hands and you're saying, this is what I need to do at this time. Maybe I need to get rid of processed foods or caffeine or sugar, tobacco, alcohol. Maybe I need to exercise more. Perhaps I need to join that gym or get back on track. Whatever it is here, you're in that position of power. So the steps that you take in the month of September are going to help you feel revitalized. They're going to help you feel confident as well, because I am getting King and Queen of Wands energy here, which we'll clarify each month with a few tarot cards, and then we'll wrap it up with the wisdom of the Oracle. In the month of October, you have the Horse card. This is about liberation, freedom, which I really like showing up after the position of power. So some of you, you may be in the lead, or again, there's some sort of movement here. I get a couple of energies. I'm getting honeymoon or moving in together. For others of you, this could be flexibility. You have a little more wiggle room, even though you may have more responsibility. I hope that makes sense. So it's like with great power comes great responsibility, but it also allows you to have flexibility in some way, shape, or form. Okay. I'm also sensing that some of you may have children that are going back to school. There could be someone that leaves the home as well. So it could be that maybe someone finds their own place or their own job. It could be that someone is going off to college. This could be you as well. Maybe you work from home, work remotely. You could be in a position of power here where you're being noticed and recognized by someone that can pull the rope, someone that can say, yes, you're hired, Virgo, or yes, we want to work with you. This can also be parental energy as well, whether this is you as a parent or your own parents. I feel like you're in a position to heal a situation here, possibly between you and another person, but you have a lot more wiggle room and freedom here. So this could also be vacation. Some of you may even be taking a vacation in the month of October, or there could be flexibility in some decisions, or a little more flexibility even within your schedule, because I am getting in September, you may have a jam-packed schedule, Virgo. We don't love to hear that, but if you can put some of those things on your schedule that include me time, right? Self time for reflecting, whether it's taking a day off if you can, or just scheduling in a coffee date with a friend or a coworker. I feel like you're also making time to socialize with others, to spend time with your family. I'm also getting there could be back-to-back celebrations, such as maybe a wedding and then a birthday party. I'm kind of getting that energy, even an anniversary and a birthday party. So something may be back-to-back, or you may have a couple weekends in a row. It's going to be fine. You are very detail-oriented. A lot of you Virgos are. You can multitask, and you'll be able to hit everything on that schedule without carrying a lot of burdens or a lot of stress. And for those of you that do suffer from those burdens or stress, it's going to be important to specifically schedule some downtime in your calendar. All right, in the month of November, we have the leaves, which is interesting because we have this gradual shift taking place here. So it could be that there's been a big change that's occurred, and then by November here, you realize, wow, I'm come to the other side of this shift again. So for example, if you move in with one another, it's been a shift for you, but you're starting to integrate it into your everyday life, so it doesn't seem as drastic or as huge as maybe it was in the beginning. I feel like it's gradually you're shifting into place. Same goes for if you get a new job or if you go on vacation. There's something here with a gradual shift, getting back into the swing of things, or back into the swing of this new life, this new job, whatever it was that you're moving into. I certainly sense that things are working out and panning out for you in a good way. So this is wonderful. Let's take a look here and clarify with the tarot. What do we have here for September? Moose, position of power. What do we have for Virgo, please? I'm getting the name Johnson. I know that's a very common name, Johnson or Johnston. There could even be a little bit of a twist in it, or maybe the name in itself has John or S-T-O-N or S-O-N in it. It could be John and Sons, right? Please take that as it resonates. Johnson, Johnston, or John or Son. Okay, let's see here. What do we have? Let's get 3 cards for each month. What else do we have for September? Position of power. What's happening here for Virgo? Someone may be relocating, or if there is someone at a distance, maybe they're getting a job at a distance that causes them to relocate. This could be a home as well. Let's see what we have here. We have the 8 of Ariel, we have the Knight of Michael, and the 5 of Wands. Okay, so I do like this energy here. We have the 5 of Gabriel, which is the 5 of Wands. We have the Knight of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles. So the 5 of Wands says that there are challenges showing up here in your world, but I like the 5 of Wands because it's not the swords. They don't fight each other with swords. They fight each other with wands. So it's more of a competitiveness than it is a cutthroat type of energy. So it says a challenge that you can resolve. What's happening here is you can see that not only are you protected with this angelic presence in the background here, you hold the piece of the puzzle, right? She's missing a couple of pieces, but she's holding them in her hand. So what you're doing at this time, Virgo, is you are finding the missing puzzle piece and you're putting it together. But a lot of you Virgos, you're really good at challenge. I feel like you work well under pressure. And some of you are saying, Melissa, I don't want to deal with challenge. I don't want to deal with pressure. I get that. But you're good at it. You're good at it. And I feel like you're not going to crumble. You're not going to break here, even if it feels like you've had close calls. 5 of Wands showing up can be competitiveness in the market if you've been looking for a job. It can be about criticism, right? It can be about people having different roles, different opinions. It can be rivalry amongst leadership, right? Someone may be a bad leader or not an efficient leader, where someone down here is a better leader than this person. And I feel like you're seeing evidence of this all around you. But the good news is it's actually allowing you to hone in on your own self with the 8 of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is all about mastering yourself, a skill, your craft. It's about loving what it is that you do. And because you love it, you're willing to learn more about it and to dive into it. It says, take great pride, Virgo, in your excellent work because practice makes perfect. Consider getting additional, maybe education or training. So this could be going back to school, as we mentioned earlier within this card and this energy. Some of you may be taking a class, a certification. There could be training or an apprenticeship, especially if you're getting a new job or if you are looking to shift things up a little bit, take on more responsibility, open your own business or expand upon your business ideas. Some of you could also be working with a mentor. I'm hearing the word mentor, or you yourself, Virgo, could be a mentor or a coach or a leader. And you're being called here to put yourself out there. For some of you, this could be starting a YouTube channel. Right? Maybe you've hesitated because you're thinking, well, what I want to talk about, everybody and their mom out there is doing it. There's a million different YouTube channels about what this is. But remember, you are authentic, Virgo. You have what it takes. So even though it may feel at times that you're going to get lost in the shuffle, you have this originality. You have this gift, these skills, these talents that are yours and yours alone. And the Knight of Michael says, utilize this energy where you are a strong, committed energy. You are very intellectual. You're very diligent as well. So it may be time to move quickly. So everything that we talked about with the Moose card is showing up here for you. It says choose logic over emotion because there could be sudden changes. Okay, so choose logic over emotion. Some of you, you are absolutely using that beautiful mind of yours, but use that mind in a way that is going to help you, not hinder you. Because sometimes that control center and that brain, right, it can talk us out of things and it can say, well, again, that market is too saturated. They're never going to hire me. And then we start to have self-talk and limiting beliefs and self-doubt. And then we trip up over it, right? We self-sabotage. That's what Spirit is saying. Don't do this month. Take action, because the Knight of Michael here, and look at your void of cups energy. So I don't see a lot of heart here yet. I feel like this is coming in more of the cups we may see in October and November more so, but it's time for you to take action this month and really put your nose to the grindstone. Is that the saying that they say? Put your nose to the grindstone. Get to work here because there's work to be done, but you may have to make a quick decision. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. You may decide to go back to school. You may decide to start maybe fall energy or spring, right? You could be going back and forth. You may decide to launch a class or a workshop. You have a lot of brilliant ideas, and a lot of them are actually stirring up in the month of August. You have the 8 here. So depending on when you're watching this video, August, I'm putting this out in August. I put them out early to help you take notes and prepare. But I feel like August is a really powerful month for going within, doing that soul searching, having those brilliant inspirational ideas come in waves. You're going to feel that quite strongly this month. And so when the 8 of Pentacles shows up, I feel like you're taking advantage of those ideas and you're using your brain to come up with logical solutions to how you can move forward in your finances, in your career, in your health. There's something that you're sticking your mind to, for example, an exercise routine or eating healthy. And it's almost a mind over matter situation where you're not letting your mind talk you out of it, and that's what your advice is. So I'm liking this energy. I feel like your head is in a good place. I feel like you are very brilliant, very talented, Virgo. You have what it takes to move forward and accomplish anything you set your mind to. Yeah. 8 of Swords here is saying, don't let your mind talk you out of a situation that you really want to say yes to, or don't overthink. Don't overthink, because that can be the life of us, right? It says you can be free. And it's interesting because we're clarifying, by the way, October here, and you have horse and freedom to move. Some of you may feel, excuse me, and as I say that, my voice is activating. You may feel not seen or heard in your current employment or in a relationship, and that may be that position of power. So someone may feel like they're taking control or taking power over you or precedence over you. And you may have a decision to make because you don't want to quarrel, right? This person isn't a good boss or isn't a good leader. And you may have a quick decision to make when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your career. So again, voice activation, speaking up for what you want. If you're not being heard, I feel that you are deciding to move on and free yourself, because in the month of October, you have the Horse card, freedom to move. And you have the 8 of Swords, which literally says you can be free. So we have freedom and you can be free. And it says make a courageous choice to change your situation, especially when you have a difficult time seeing things clearly. Sometimes we need to just think rationally instead of letting those emotions take over, because when we let those emotions make decisions for us, sometimes it can get us in a pickle, right? Whether those emotions are anger or they are bitterness or resentment, we can of course make decisions in that state, but it could be something that is impulsive. And that's kind of what I feel here with the Knight of Swords. Don't make an impulsive decision here, but you don't have the emotion yet, so I feel like you're not gonna. Queen of Pentacles. Let's get one more card to clarify the freedom. Someone may be having issues with a mother as well, a mother-in-law, or someone who's very bossy. Okay, someone who may interfere with raising children or how to raise children, or it could be that your own mother had implemented some patterns or some traits or characteristics that you've taken on and you want to release. To break it down to small terms, it could be control. Okay, someone may be trying to control. 8 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. There's your cup, but it is a missing cup here where you may be focusing on the loss. Spirit saying focus on the present. And I really love the illustration in this 5 of Cups, because if you look at that, there's gifts behind her, but she's not paying attention to those gifts because they're already opened. They're already open. She already knows what was in store here. She's focused on that gift that's right in front of her. And look at that. It's a double gift too. Green and, well, turquoise. So it could be heart chakra and it could be communication. So something that fills you up emotionally, but you're able to also feel heard, which is important, which is what you need and what you want here. I feel like you are taking on the characteristics here of the Queen of Ariel. And I mean, this is you as well, Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like you are a very mature, practical, generous, and for the most part, Virgo, you're a very happy individual. And I feel other people are attracted to your happiness and your humor and your insight and your love, right? It says nurture yourself and those you love. This is the time to make anything more beautiful, because you have that ability to make your environment more beautiful, to make your relationships more beautiful, but most importantly, to live and lead a beautiful life, whatever that may look like for you. Practical and wise advice. So some of you could also get advice from a Queen of Ariel here. This could be a financial advisor, a real estate expert. It could certainly be someone who has children, who has mothered children as well. It could be someone who really is very generous with their time, very mature. But I feel for a lot of you, this is you embracing your own archetype here. 8 of Swords is about you getting out of your own way. And we just talked about that, not letting those self-fulfilling prophecies or those fears come in and hinder all of your hard work, Virgo, because you have been working hard. So there's some sense of freedom, whether it's mental freedom, because you have the 8 of Swords, which is about freeing yourself from the fears, the limitations, the lack of, the control. And that's a big thing here. Okay, we have the 5 of Cups. You're focusing on something better, which is really great. So typically when that 5 of Cups shows up, it says here, everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. So you're going to realize that, yes, something may not have turned out the way that you thought it was going to, but it's actually because something better is being put in your place. She may not know what is inside that gift, but she's willing to turn her back on what's already been opened, what's already happened in the past, and she's ready for new opportunities. And I feel like this is you. You're protected. You're guided at this time as well. Now, in the month of November, you do have the leaves, which is again about that gradual shift. So there's a shift taking place here in a very a big way, but I feel like it's behind the scenes. So it reminds me of an exercise or a diet routine. When you start on that diet, you don't always see results for months sometimes until you go put on that pair of jeans that you haven't been able to fit into until, from the 90s or the 80s or whatever it may be. It's a pair of jeans that you haven't been able to fit into. And you didn't realize the whole time that you were losing weight because you see yourself every day, or because you're in that energy each and every day. But then when you go to put on the pants, you say, whoa, I feel good. I'm looking good. But I feel like not only is this happening here on a deeper internal level, you're going to see the shift taking place here on a physical. So you may see physical evidence of your hard work paying off by November. Let's take a look here. What do we have for November, please, for Virgo? All right, we have the Two of Wands, taking a leap of faith. It's also about planning, decision making as well. Is the timing right? Yes, it is. There's the Tower. Time to change your life. This is big. Let's see what's coming in with the Tower, please. More peace. You're going through a major transformation. This is great. You have two major arcanas. You might be saying, Melissa, that is not a gradual shift, but what's happening here is something working out behind the scenes where, boom, when you go to try on those pants, you're saying, whoa, this is fantastic. I didn't realize how much I've shifted in this energy because it was subtle. It was a gradual shift. And then boom, it changes your life in a big way because it actually fills you up with more confidence and more inspiration. So I absolutely see that November is going to be a very powerful month for you. It's going to bring in more peace. And there's going to be some bold choices and bold decisions that you make this month as well. It says make bold and ambitious choices. Great progress is possible. Important relationships with people who share the same vision as you. So you could be called to relocate. It could be a move, right? Maybe it's something behind the scenes that you've wanted for quite some time and you've been putting in the effort, but you haven't heard anything. But really, Spirit has been working behind the scenes to bring this miracle or this milestone to you here. But there's been distractions. And as I say that, there's that little bug that lives in this plant that's literally flying right in front of my face here. So there's been distractions along the way. There's been setbacks. There's been some challenges. There's been some conflict, some fighting, some arguments. There's been things that have disrupted your peace. And now the Tower comes in. And the Tower is something that it's a revelation that offers you freedom. This is the third card here that talks about freedom. So for those of you that are feeling restricted, for those of you that are feeling stuck or trapped, get ready, because I feel like this is one of the biggest moments of releasing yourself from the handcuffs of whatever is binding you. There's freedom here. It could even be some of you are dealing with a legal situation or a karmic cycle, some sort of debt. You're free from an energy, from an environment, from a relationship, from a situation. I feel like it's going to change your life in a big way. And the Death card says that you have spiritual energy behind you, but the way that you've done something in the past, you're shifting that energy up because you're ascending, and you're never going to go back to that same energy, that same environment, that same person, or that same job, whatever it was for you here. And that's why the Tower is coming in. A revelation that offers freedom. Break free of procrastination and embrace the opportunities that change brings. And you have double change cards here with the Peace. Release the past. There's a more enriching future coming. Let go and let God, right? Let go of the rope. Let go of the restraints. Let go of the control of thinking that sometimes we know how life should go. We have a plan, right? We've been planning it forever. And then boom, something comes in and it changes our world. And we say, wait a minute, that's not the plan I had, right? Because remember, Spirit knows your soul. Your higher self knows your soul, and everything that's happening here for you is happening in your highest good. So the Two of Wands is definitely about you taking action. So get ready here, because you're going to embrace this change in a big way. And even though it sounds counterintuitive because you feel like it's gradual, what I'm seeing has been gradual. Is something may have even started in the fall time for you. So depending on where you're located, here in the United States, we have fall time that starts, I believe, in September. For some of you, if you live over on the other side of the world, it could be springtime, but there could have been an energy of something starting in the fall or following through with a situation until fall. Okay. And I feel by November here, you've completed a cycle. You've completed a cycle, and it's actually going to allow you a lot more freedom than maybe you feel at this time. So this is really deep. I want to get just a couple more cards here on this Tower and see what this could be, because I know the Tower can be scary. A lot of people think the Tower, especially combined with the Death card, is negative, is challenging, but sometimes those Towers come in and it can be, it can be marriage. It can be you fell in love with your best friend that you never thought you would ever get into a union with, or you find out you're pregnant unexpectedly, or it can be that you have a job that is asking you to move across the continent or across the world, right? So it can be anything. It doesn't have to be negative, but the way that you've been living life, I feel like that's coming to an end. So there is something big here happening, but I feel like you'll be able to integrate it into your world just fine. It's going to be more than just fine here. Let's clarify the Tower. Spirit, what do we have for the Tower? The King of Swords energy. Yeah, King of Swords here. It says wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity. A situation that calls for honest and open communication. Honest and open communication with those around you, those that you work with, your clients, your patients, your children, whoever is showing up in your energy. It can be a complete stranger as well. The King of Michael, he's all about the truth. He's well respected. He may not always deliver the type of news that one wants to hear, but it's what they need to hear in that moment. This is someone who's highly ambitious, someone who's very principled, and he's very rational. And you're getting a lot of Swords energy here. You have the Knight of Swords, you have the King of Swords, and you have the Eight of Swords as well. All good swords, but sometimes the King of Swords can get a little bit stuck on a belief that they've had for a long time, because that belief has got them through life. It's got them through the challenges, through the hard times. So anyone that comes in and tries to challenge that belief, right, it can be really difficult for the King of Swords to open up to a new way of doing things. And sometimes that's why a Tower comes in, because if we are stuck in a way of doing things of the past, maybe some sort of tradition or root belief system that was ingrained upon us since childhood or at a very young age or as a young adult, it can be hard to navigate from that. And I feel like you are being called to expand and to go within as well by listening to the truth of your soul, right? Listening to the truth of your soul. So this is powerful here. The King of Swords can also be military. He could be law, right? He could be an advisor. He's straight, clear, and to the point, right? You want this King of Swords on your side. This is someone who he's going to fight the good fight. And I feel like this is about you overcoming any of those challenges, finding solutions to any of the conflict or setback. So again, with your surrounding cards, aside from the Five of Cups, which can be emotionally disappointing, the good news is, especially with what I'm getting with the surrounding cards and in the illustration, you're going to choose to focus on a new beginning, not focus on whatever's been spilt or lost in the past. So let's take a look here and get a final message from the wisdom of the Oracle for each month. What do we have here for Virgo, September 2023? Okay, I'm getting the name here, Carmen or Karen? Is that a name? It must be Karen. I don't know if it's spelt with a C or a K, but I'm hearing it almost as a subtle whisper, Karen. So please take that as it resonates. Maybe it's a place. Let's take a look at October. What do we have here, please, Spirit, for October for Virgo? What do we have for October? Ooh, yes, you are blessed. And November. What do we have for November? If you are resonating with this reading, please feel free to hit that like button and subscribe if you're vibing with the energy. I greatly appreciate it. All right, in the month of September, you're between worlds here. Yeah, you are. But the good news is, look at that. You're coming out of maybe a little bit of storm, a little bit of a conflict here. You see that flamingo, he's still kind of in one world and he's looking towards something brighter. You see his head is on this bright side. So I absolutely feel like you're still feeling a little bit of maybe indecisiveness. There could be a lapse, maybe 2 weeks between maybe one job and another. It could be relationship, it could be health, where you're integrating some new routines here. But remember, you are in this position of power. You have what it takes here to make some big, bold, courageous choices, Virgo, that are going to better your life, better your world. You're going to be able to move forward here with grace, honor, and dignity is what I'm hearing. Grace, honor, and dignity. Let's take a look. Number 3, flamingo. All right, so this is all about transitions, not being quite out of one situation and fully engaged in another. Temporary blindness, and it can be about no man's land, right? And the oracle message is this: between the world is where you must let go of the tendency to make assumptions. This is a time when you are unable to see what is ahead. Cultivate curiosity and trust the process of change and growth. You are done learning the lessons of recent experiences in this place between what was and what will be, in a state of making and unmaking and making again. What is essential now is to admit not knowing. There is great freedom and power to be unleashed. And you have that position of power. Oh, I love it. And it's being unleashed here in October. You have the freedom card. Oh, isn't this wonderful? A mystery that is not yours to understand weaves the web of life within a divine matrix of consciousness greater than your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, and decisions. The seeds that were planted in the past begin to take root, but what surfaces will probably not be what you expect. When you are between worlds, you are invited to see with the curious eyes of a child, glimpsing a rainbow for the first time. Do so and you will not be disappointed. We literally just talked about this. So yeah, things may show up in a different form. You may be challenged to open your mind, your consciousness to something greater than even you can see beyond. You must trust here. You must trust in that divine wisdom. All right, for you in the month of October, you have the blessed card. Now, some of you may be born on the 3rd, on the 22nd, the 4th, the 21st, or the 3rd. All right, let's take a look and see. October 22. Something wonderful that is an unearned and unexpected grace. I am going to read it in the reversal. There is a protection message because it showed up in the reversal here. Although I feel like there are blessings all around you here, Virgo, it's important at this time to heed this message. Humility is called for now, as grace is an unearned gift. You didn't gain this by your own desires or actions. To be who you need to be, you can no longer do what you did. In a way, you've hit the bottom of a situation. You've hit the glass ceiling. Like I said, there's room for growth. There's room for responsibility, expansion. That's what you're being called to rediscover here within you. What is required now is nothing less than total surrender. Then you're going to be so blessed beyond your wildest dreams, but you must surrender to the divine plan. Sometimes that divine plan is different than our ego's plan, right? You have freedom here. Once you surrender, you have this freedom to move in places that you've never thought or seen or felt possible. I really like this for you, even though this is deep. I feel this is deep for you. There's going to be big changes that change your world in a big way, right? Maybe that person who you thought you'd be with forever, maybe they weren't the one, maybe it didn't work out, but it led you directly to the soulmate that is going to be here till the rest of time here on earth. Maybe that job that didn't work out led you to become a business owner, and cultivate your spiritual gifts and go off on your own, doing your own thing. Maybe that health scare or health concern that you, or excuse me, issue that you've had in the past, maybe it was something for a wake-up call for you to get into the best shape of your life. There's always a silver lining, and that's what I see here for you, Virgo. Now, last but not least here, November, you have clean it up. And it makes sense because you have here the death card and you have the tower. So what's happening here is some of you are cleaning up the rubble of the tower. And this is about, it's card 21 as well. This is about getting to the core of a situation. Well, what better way to do that than to bring in a tower? Freedom from a burden. Yes, and that freedom may actually be coming in October. Sweeping away what is no longer needed. Do you ever feel so bogged down with emotional gunk that you can't think straight? Could you be surrounded by physical clutter in your home also? Maybe too much work. Maybe you're overwhelmed. It's time to clean house, Virgo. Every item out of place matters and natters away at you. Every unresolved resentment, every comparison to others that leads to a sense of lack takes up energetic space. Every unpaid bill just adds up to an unnecessary feeling of being overwhelmed. Now is the time to free yourself by energetically cleaning house. Just do it. Make room for the miracles that are lining up for you. Yes, I see these miracles lining up. We just need to trust. We need to surrender to the universe here. This is really, really important. Okay, I am going to read the prosperity message for you because a lot of you, I feel like this may have to do with finances, with money. Of course, this can be love and health. Please take it as it resonates. Simple things like opening your mail, paying bills, sorting out your timetable, making lists, kind of a replay of September here, or making sure you're still on track with what it is that you want to accomplish here. It says, make time for yourself too. This card is a sign that you may be overburdened and overwhelmed. It's okay to say no, and you'll prosper even more if you do so. Because there could be a big event. There could be a big gathering for those of you that celebrate maybe Thanksgiving, or maybe you celebrate a different holiday in the month of November. It can be a stressful time. The holidays can be a stressful time for any family, especially for those of you where there has been a death or there has been a loss, because I see that here in the energy. It doesn't have to be a physical one, but it could be that there's an anniversary or a memory of that. Okay, it could even been a breakup. Something may have happened around the 21st as well. Okay, clean it up because you're going into 2024 with miracle after blessing. And I feel 2024 is going to be a very powerful year for a lot of you Virgos. I feel like you are going to be in that energy of where you've wanted to be for the last 10 years, right? Things are happening at such a rapid pace. I will be also posting a December reading as well, closer to December, but I feel that you are cleaning up this end of the year cycle, but it's not just the end of 2023. For some of you, you're cleaning up crud and stuff that has been accumulating over the last decade. So that is a big energy to let go of. And it's all coming down here. But for you to break free from those burdens, from the workaholism, from the stress, from the mental energy of being able to break down even some belief systems. Some of you believe that we have to work so hard, right? Your grandfather's father's father had to work 16, 18 hours a day. And you may have instilled some of that belief where now we're into this Aquarian age where it's important to work smarter, not harder. We have resources that we can do and be anything we want. You can go towards whatever it is that you want without going the traditional way. And that's what I feel some of you are breaking free from. You may even be deciding to retire. I'm getting retirement here. Even though I don't see the 10 of Pentacles, I feel like you're making steps to retire. Or even if you are 33 years old, you could be investing into something that will help you retire when you decide to do so. That is what I have for you, Virgo. I hope it resonates. A very powerful time coming ahead. Don't let this scare you here. This is something that your soul knows about. Everything that's happening in your world, you knew about it prior to incarnating. What you have is free will to choose what you want to do with it when you're here. Right? What do you want to do with it? Do you want to stay in a never-ending cycle or repetitive story, or do you want to move on to the next human experience? And I feel like that is what you're choosing to do. Thank you so much for joining Spirit Me today. I love each and every one of you. If this resonates, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. And for those of you that haven't yet hit the subscribe and you're vibing, please do so. Thank you so much for being here. Lots of love.